celebrate, join their counterparts all over the world for the annual International Workers' Day, known as May Day, so to say. It's going to happen on Sunday, next Sunday, on Sunday, May 1st, and a whole lot of activities have been packaged by various NLC members across the Federation. Ogun State is not left out. And so, we have to discuss this topic with us, our first topic, the role of Nigerian workers in nation building, as we continue to count down to the May Day celebration on Sunday. The chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress in Ogun State, Comrade Emmanuel Bankole. Comrade Bankole, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. My pleasure to be with you.
Today,
all right, Comrade, congratulations on the May Day that is coming up. I know so many activities are lined up. But first of all, our topic for today is role of Nigerian workers in nation building. And you agree with me that the Nigerian workers have been there pre-independence up till today, fighting for the growth, development of the nation. And the question is, what NLC, are the Nigerian workers as a whole still fighting for the nation?
Well, thank you very much. Once again, to rejoice with everyone, because when we talk of midday or Workers' Day, it is for anybody who we wake up in the morning, go to his office, go to his market, to his store, to transact anything at all. So it's not limited to those working with government. It's everybody that will go out to find a way of a survival. So congratulations to all of us. Now, looking at the role of workers, in the nation building. Now, if you look at it, you cannot quantify the role that workers have played. And principally, the starting point is to know that workers generate wealth. The whole socioeconomic environment is dependent on the well-being of workers. So we are the engine room that drive the process of any system. So there's no way you can take workers out. If you take workers out, then there'll be no country. So the role, you cannot quantify the role that we play. It's innumerable.
Are workers being compensated enough? Are workers happy?
Well, that's a different ballgame, and that's a very unfortunate one. It's like that saying that the goose that is laying the golden egg is being deprived of even nourishment to continue to lay that golden egg. If you look at our system here, the reward system is faulty. Those that are generating the wealth are not given fair share of what they are generating. And that is why you have complaints all over the country today. It's only when you compare that we say this is better than, but on a conclusive analysis, you will see that workers in Nigeria are not having fair share of that wealth that they are major stakeholder for that matter, in creating, in generating. Peanuts. Just a maintenance version.
Like till the kingdom comes, we'll continue to say "Aluta continua"?
Well, perhaps maybe those who come up with with that motto, "Aluta continua," perhaps maybe it's been something else. But here we are. The struggle continues. Aluta continua. What? Victoria Asata. We are hopeful that victory will come our way one day. But then, it will not just come like that. One of the things that we need to know is that power is not given a la carte. And any other thing, particularly in the hand of the bourgeois, they will not willingly relinquish. They will not willingly want to give workers their fair shares. The only way you can get it is to be united, determined, and to be focused to know what is good for us. It's only then we can, because even when we look at global problems, you have workers' problems, but then in some other climes, you see better. The working conditions, see better. So for us, as workers in Nigeria, to get our fair share, one of the starting points is that we must bunch together. We must see ourselves as just one people and speak with one voice. It is only then that we can say, yes, we are ready to go.
It's often said that during some people's tenure in the NLC, they were vocal, quote and unquote, they speak truth to power. But in this new era, it's not been like that. Is it that the labor union is losing its voice or is being compromised?
Well, I think many factors are responsible for that. One, coming from the military era, the way labor was engaging the military, we cannot do that with civil rule. So that's a different thing. So that's why you have some variation. And two, what we see in Nigeria today is a reflection of the society itself. You know, here we are in this country. At the point in time, 1993, it was not an issue for us to have a Muslim healthcare. You know, it was not an issue at all to have it during the SDP NRC. To have it was not a factor of consideration. But look at us today. So it's a reflection of the degeneration that we have in our system. So, and it's only collectively that we can resolve this and make things to work. So the labor not talking as they used to talk. One, military and civil rule, they are two different ball games. And again, the reflection of what Nigeria is today is what you see play out here and there. Mundane sentiment. So,
what is the situation in Ogun State?
Well, in Ogun State,
labor, government relationship, problems here and there. What method are you using? And I'm going to, everybody is watching us, and I'm going to say this because Emmanuel Bankole, the NLC chairman, it's coming from a different setup that we used to have, and maybe he's not too vocal because he's from the federal government. I mean, there's insinuations here and there. So that's why I'm asking this question. And your system in tackling the problems of workers in the state.
Well, thank you. In fact, that even gave me some leverage or vintage position that I'm not from the state public service. So it's supposed to be an advantage. And to the glory of God, even as we are, we've been able to do certain things that achieve certain things for state workers that were never achieved before, even by those who came from the public service of the state.
Okay.
Starting from the last negotiation that we had in the state. Yes, in record, go and find out in the country today as I speak with you, the minimum wage that we got for state worker is one of the best in this country today. So we provided leadership and we're able to achieve that. Before our coming to office, gratuities were not being paid. The last administration, 7 years, nothing was paid as gratuity to workers. So we engage government and we caused it to happen, to be part of the agreement that we signed with government that, look, the retiree was taken care of. We asked, in the negotiation, we asked for 2 billion. But when we look at the books, we agree on 500 million that this should be paid quarterly. Today, I tell you, that is being paid.
Okay.
Even for the first quarter of the year, it has been paid. Though we want something more, we have commitment from government that they are disposed to increasing this. This never happened during the last regime. For 7 years down the line. Even the last regime that paid to some people, BRC was deducted from their pay, shortchanging those retirees. We engaged government, and this government agreed. They restored and took away that wicked practice of deducting the basic rate from their entitlement. So it has been put aside, and not only that, they've been paid back. That part of the money that was taken away from them. So it's part of the engagement with this government. We are not there yet, and I must say this. But in collective bargaining, one of the tools that we use is social dialogue, engagement. And I tell you, in terms of our engagement with government, those in government, they know that we have represented labor very well. We are not one of those that is given to...
Well, what is the state on the issue of one aspect that affects workers so much in the state, on every state? The issue of deductions.
Okay. Well, the issue of deduction is one of those gray areas that one is not happy about. Because I recall before this government coming into office, the last administration, through light of the last administration, we have accumulated this. And I recall the last May Day, that in the stadium there, I put it to, even before the May Day, so many engagement, and we were able to get some of those deduction paid, towards the full light of that administration. So we never expected that this government will come again and start building up those things. So as we speak, it's unfortunate. It's a thing we are not happy about, that this government again is coming up to go the line, that bad practices of denying workers. Because when we talk of deduction, for instance, look at the cooperative deduction. It is part and parcel of worker salary, worker pay. So, and again, it has very negative impact on the socio-economic well-being of the states. Because if the cooperative, you have 20 more deduction not given to them. If it's been given to the cooperative, the chances are that people have taken loan twice, 10 months and pay back. And at the end of the day, people will also have a dividend. But here, the money is never traded with, so nothing like dividend will come to farmer. Again, the artisan, they will have benefited, because no worker will take the money and eat. They are going to use it for one activity or the other, which will have spiral effects, positive impact on all the populace. So it's still a sore point, and we continue to engage them, and we are telling them it is one of those things that caused disagreement with us with the last administration. And we will not hesitate, because if you deny us our rights, we will not be smiling with you. We will be engaging them, and we have continued to warn them, don't go the way of the last administration, because we are representing the worker and their interest is paramount. We cannot be friend of the government and deny us our rights. So we continue to engage, and we have not stopped, and we won't stop.
Today, one of the clamor of workers all over the country is the working environment being up to date with what should be. When the environment where you work is okay, then you can be productive. Now, in Ogun State, how far so far with that, in that regard?
Well, very well. Maybe because of the background, the way some people are coming about it. It is not a bonanza, it's not a gift. If you want to enhance the productivity of any worker, the environment, the enabling environment should be conducive. It's only there that you can get best from such worker. So when we ask for good working environment, and people will see it as we're asking for too much, it's no, because it's going to be like penny wise, pound foolish. If you don't give an enabling environment, for instance, the least of a thing, convenience, for instance. When we came on board, I recall that if you go to the Okemos and then you want to use yourself, it used to be a very terrible place. You will walk through some of the passages and the offensive order that will be coming. And then we have to engage government that, look, this is about one of the basic things. I will not be thinking that I want to ease myself, it becomes headache, I will go into the bush to go bush attack. But I think in that wise, government has done something, at least when we go there now, we've seen positive change in that wise. Basic thing. Again, is the working tool that people also need to work. Is the world is moving, and we can't afford to lag behind. So, in that wise, we also engage government by ensuring that good working facility, tool that people will work with is provided. So, we have seen movement in that regard, as per working tool, and also capacity building and development. If you, for instance, you are a mechanic, automobile technician, you are trained 20 years ago, and you did not do anything to improve yourself, you are just going to be left behind. Even teachers today, you see a lot of digital learning and the rest of them. So we are engaging government, and we have seen positive movement in that regard by way of empowerment, exposing people to women, but then we are not there yet. It's something that must be continued and must be sustained.
Okay.
It's anything that you do today and stop, must be sustained.
Despite all the challenges, there are still reasons to celebrate. That's why you are celebrating. I'm hoping that victory is assured in the future. So what's the mood of the celebration here in Ogun State for NLC?
Well, thank you very much. Even the celebration we talk about, some people even wonder, what are we celebrating? Why do we need to celebrate? And we do tell them that this celebration is two-pronged. One, to recognize the contribution of veterans, heroes, that have, some of them even laid down their life for us to enjoy what we're enjoying today. In those days, you cannot know the difference between a worker and a slave. They work and work all through the day. No closing time, no leave. And so people have to pay even the supreme price to ensure that. So when we celebrate this day, is to remember them, the service of those heroes past. And again, yes, things are not rosy, but we also need to celebrate ourselves. You know, if you don't blow your trumpets, nobody will blow it for you. Also, self-appraisal. See where we are going, where we are coming from, what we can still need to do. So, that's why we need to celebrate ourselves. We tell our people we must celebrate ourselves to thank God, particularly for the gift of life. So many people lost their life, even active service, but at least God to preserve our life. So we have every cause to thank God. For us in Ogun State, there have been a week-long activities. It started last Sunday with church service, Thanksgiving service at African Church Cathedral. And on Tuesday, we had a lecture on the health-related matter. We had a medical preach. Wednesday, we had another lecture on road safety that affect the well-being of workers. Yesterday, we had novelty march, indoor games. Today, by the grace of God, we shall be going to Community Central Mosque for special Thanksgiving, Jumat service. And on Saturday, we are going to have cultural night. A lot of entertainment, variety. So celebrate ourselves. So we are really celebrating ourselves. And Sunday, by the grace of God, the grand finale, where we are going to have the march past at the stadium, after which we retire to our secretariat to celebrate ourselves.
So what will be the message coming from the office of the chairman, NLC chairman, to workers, and of course, I don't know, maybe the plea again to government?
Well, I'm going to start with plea to government. The expectations were very high when this government was coming into place, that they're going to do this, they're going to do that. By our own barometer, we have to measure, they are still far, far from the expectation of the masses, and particularly the workers. So we want to urge them, it is not late yet, to do those things that will make the goose that is laying the golden egg to be healthy, so that it can continue to produce the golden egg. We are appealing to government. We should not be hearing that in Ogun State, that the deduction will be taken from workers' salary, and we should not even hear it. We should close that chapter. It is an aberration. It's an abnormality. It is more of a fraud. Because those money, workers are not any interest on it. If I place 100,000, 200,000 fixed for 20 months, at least they'll be covered or whatever on it. So we want to appeal to them. They should do something, but to ensure that we put a stop, we close that chapter of no remittances of the checkoff as at when due.
And to the workers?
To the workers in the states, I want to appeal. We owe these states together, and our productivity is the only thing that enhances the IGR of the state. We should be good ambassador of government. We should be public relation manager of the government, and particularly those in revenue raising units of government. When we want to engage government, it is the IGR. The resources from Abuja, the revenue from Abuja is dwindling. So most times they have to rely on revenue that is generated from the states. So if those who by virtue of the service they render, they are the one in those revenue, and it is to their pocket, it means they are short-changing every one of us. Short-changing. So we want to appeal to them. They should be diligent, and they should be honest in their services to our state and to the citizens of this state.
But as we go, Abeokuta continue.
Victoria Asata.
All right. Thank you very much. We've been having a dialogue, so to say, with Comrade Emmanuel Bankole, Ogun State NLC chairman, and on the role of Nigerian workers in nation building. Thank you, and we wish all of us a happy celebration as we continue to celebrate this edition of Workers' Day, which will come to a climax on Sunday at the MKO Abeokuta Stadium here in Ogun State with parade and all sorts of speeches here and there. We'll take this break. When we come back, our second guest should be in-house.